folks, check this out. Whoa. It's getting windy, Susie.
Yeah, you can see that. That moved in so fast.
My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. For this episode, we're at Lone Wolf Mountain in the cabin, and Susie is with us.
Hello everyone! We are into 2023 and Luke and I have come out to our little cabin in the woods to have a trip.
It is currently January 3rd, folks, and it is 66 degrees outside. I'm sweating my brains out.
It is very warm to be the middle of winter. That is for sure.
Already we have the windows open, the vents open. Now I think we need to open up this door.
Typically everyone looks forward to a day like this because we've had such a cold winter normally. That's not been the case this time, and it seems like it's been warm all winter long. So unfortunately we're all wanting those really cold days and it's just not happening. I want winter, but it feels like almost like summer today. It is really warm.
It's kind of funny, the only cool down that we've had this winter was about 2 weeks ago. The temperatures dropped to negative 18 degrees Fahrenheit, and we had 60-mile-an-hour winds with a little bit of snow. As far as winter goes, that's pretty much all that we've had so far.
As far as the cabin goes here at Lone Wolf Mountain, we recently got a heater and a generator, so we are ready for cold, cold nights. But unfortunately, they're not happening. So we came out here today, we opened all the windows, we're practically sweating. But it doesn't matter, we're gonna have a great time, and because of the weather, we will be able to cook out outside over a fire. This is my favorite feature of our cabin. If you wanna cool it down fast on the inside, you just open up both of these back doors. Feels great in a matter of minutes. Luke and I have really enjoyed having the cabin here at Lone Wolf Mountain. We've done many trips in it together and he has stayed out here solo. Over the past few months, we've been able to dial in everything here and see what works, and we're happy to say there's plenty of space for us both. The bed works. We're looking forward to doing some cooking tonight and spending time here. Everything about this is perfect if you ask me, and I love it here.
Tell you what, folks, I wanted to take a little bit of time here and set up a tarp over the side of the cabin here. With the rain coming in this afternoon, having a tarp up is going to give us a nice area here to have a fire. Plus, it's a little bit warm to be stuck inside of the cabin today. It's way too nice. I've been using these green elephant poles for a couple of years now, and they work great. When it comes to setting up like a tarp or an awning, these really are top notch. For this setup, I have a 1 Tigris tarp. It's a long one, and I'm using the green elephant poles along with 16-inch tent stakes.
As I was making my coffee, I couldn't help but think of the kindness of all of you out there, all of our viewers. You guys have sent us so many things that we love and that are a part of our lives. So the cup, the cutting board, the things hanging in our cabin, it's all from you, and I really appreciate it, and Luke and I just want to say thanks. You guys are awesome.
Wow, folks, check this out. Whoa. It's getting windy, Susie.
Yeah, you could say that. That moved in so fast.
All right, folks, A few minutes ago, I went out while there was a break and I took down the tarp. We had to get that thing taken down before the winds really began to pick up, and I'm glad I did that. Now we're stuck inside of the cabin and it's absolutely pouring outside. Take a second, everyone, and listen to that. I mean, it's roaring outside.
It is. It sounds like a train.
I'm not surprised at all that the forecast was way off.
It always is like that.
It always is.
Luke asked me what I thought about coming to the cabin, doing like a rainy trip. He said the forecast called for some rain, but he was like, why don't we go out there and film a trip? Everybody wants to see us both there. So I said, sure, let's do it. I had no idea we're talking like major storms.
Because we can't have a fire tonight, that's going to change how we cook our dinner. Because tonight we were going to go like traditional camp foods, hot dogs all the way with chips. So we'll just have to cook inside, do it in a pan, that's okay. Gosh, it's coming down. Unfortunately, you all can't see anything, but it's absolutely coming down right now. You can hear it though.
We can't see much with the way the fog rolled in.
Yeah. All of a sudden, just boom.
Mm-hmm. We're just sitting in fog, can't see anything up here on top of the mountain.
Just the way we like it.
We've been checking the weather as we're sitting here and enjoying our coffee, and I just got a notification that a weak rotation was spotted in some thunderstorms that are headed our way. This happened in Kingsport, Tennessee, and that's not too terribly far from the mountains here in North Carolina, so I'm not sure if we will see any major storms like that, but the potential is there. The report states that that city is out of power, so we will see what happens. For us, our cabin's off-grid, so we don't have to worry about losing power, but those might be some strong storms headed our way. My phone just notified me that there's a special weather statement for this area. Doppler radar was tracking strong storms along a line. Movement was at 55 miles per hour. Hazard winds in excess of 40 miles per hour. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. We are in the area that's impacted. It says, if outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building.
As you all can see here, I fired up the heater just to take the edge out of the air. Now that it's getting dark, the temperature is dropping. Outside, it's about, I don't know, 50 degrees. It's really not that cold, but when you're inside of a shell like this, the outside temperature is amplified somewhat. And that's because you have air moving all around this shelter, even underneath it. This is the Covia Cupid heater. All in all, I like this quite a bit. Runs on butane. Make sure to leave your windows open. You need to have some airflow. These work well in tents and also in shelters like this. You only made one for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Dinner is now ready, and what we have here are chili cheese dogs with slaw, potato salad. We have some chips if we want those. Oh yeah. 3 hot dogs for me, 1 hot dog for the tiny lady here. Who's gonna live longer than this guy?
They're so good, but I can't eat more than one, so this is a good start.
Yeah.
I call this a loaded all the way hot dog.
The last time we had hot dogs, we were in South Dakota eating a dried up shoe of a hot dog. It was like a buffalo hot dog. Whatever. She liked it more than I did.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah. I was like, man, it's okay. It was like $5.
It was expensive.
Being in South Dakota, having the hot dog with Kitty, with you guys, that was pretty great.
That made it special, so maybe that's why I liked it so much. I thought it tasted pretty good.
Today's been a mess because of the weather. Again, the forecast was like light rain later on this evening into the night. Tomorrow, thunderstorms. So it's like we set up the tarp. We got the chairs out. We got the fire pit out. I was beginning to make the fire. And that's when like it started raining and storming and it got super windy. It's still raining outside. I don't hear any thunder and I haven't for maybe like 20 minutes. But before we dig in here, we won't subject you all to watching us eat. Susie, why don't you talk for a second and tell everybody what you've been up to. I'm going to be off screen eating this, so.
You get to eat, I will do story time with everyone. So basically, I've had a strange issue, and it is that my right arm has been hurting more in the shoulder area, and it has been hurting me for months. It would come and go. I have seen 2 doctors about this. One basically said put some cream on it, like the over-the-counter cream that you buy, you know, that smells really like menthol. And the other one said you should get an MRI. And that really wasn't an option for me because I wanted more to go on before I committed to doing such a big test like an MRI. And they are expensive. So anyway, I have done everything you could think of involving all of the over-the-counter creams. I did the ice, the heating pads, everything. And my arm continued to hurt. And it really started affecting my daily life. And it was to the point that Luke noticed, you're not acting right. I can tell something's bothering you. You know, what is this issue and how can we fix it? So I said, okay, my arm is absolutely killing me. It's affecting my sleep and affecting what I love to do every day. So I need to go see a doctor that will listen to me. And keep in mind that when you looked at my arm, you couldn't see that anything was wrong with it. I didn't have swelling or anything like that. So I can understand why I'd kind of been dismissed in the past seeing a doctor. They didn't see anything wrong with it. So I go to the doctor and I find one that listens to me and says, hey, have you thought about physical therapy? I think that whatever issue you're having could be resolved that way. So I went to a physical therapist and had like an evaluation, and they discovered that my AC joint up here was dislocated and out of place. And I kid you not, I can't believe I had dealt with this for the past year, and it was something as simple as that. And on that very day, they popped it back into place, and I felt immediate relief. It was crazy. I could not believe it. You should jump in here. So day 1, seeing a physical therapist, they could tell me what the problem was and they fixed it, but they wanted me to do some physical therapy because over the many months that had passed, I had lost a lot of strength in this arm, and I could tell it was getting weak. And this is my dominant hand, so it was concerning that I had no strength in this hand or arm. So I've been doing physical therapy and building up my strength, and I'm happy to say that I'm feeling so much better. I think Luke noticed immediately I was happy again and smiling, and that's because I felt good. I mean, I hadn't felt good for so many months, and anyone that suffers from like chronic pain, no matter what the issue is, it really does affect you and it gets you down. And even if someone can't see like what the issue is, you know, it's not like my arm was swollen and big and, You know, it looked weird. There was nothing wrong with it when you looked at it. So I can understand when you have an issue like that, it's kind of hard for others to understand if they don't see anything. But that's behind me. I have finished physical therapy and I'm feeling good, and I'm just glad it's all behind me. But that's my crazy story for tonight.
To add a little bit more to this story, so she went and saw 2 other doctors before going to the 3rd one, who said that she needed to get some physical therapy. So with those other doctors, you had a CT scan, is that right? No, you had an X-ray?
X-ray is the only thing I did.
X-ray. So she had an X-ray done, and it showed absolutely no issues. It really does go and kind of prove the point that you have to be your own advocate. It's like Susie's like, something's wrong. Oh no, you're fine. You just need to ice it more. No, something's wrong. So we kept going to doctors until we found the right one, who ultimately led us to solving the issue. If there's a doctor who's dismissing you, go to another one. I mean, it's so important. I have a story that I could tell, which deals with something very similar. As far as my story goes, I think I will hold off and tell that in a separate video. There's so much to it. It's a pretty crazy story. And it's something that took place years ago that I've had to deal with for multiple years. So it's a little bit heavy for this episode, so I think I'm going to hold off. But yeah, the thing is, you have to be your own advocate. I'll say that one more time. If you're dealing with an issue, you've been dismissed, I've been there, you have to just keep pushing forward and ultimately take care of it, hopefully. We're glad to have Susie back. She was a true monster, everyone. She hit me.
Oh my god.
Okay, that might not be true.
I don't think I was a monster.
She was. I'm just kidding. She didn't hit me either.
As for my issue, it's been determined that more than likely I hurt my arm while working out, because I am very active and I always work out. And if you do any kind of movements where you're like raising weights, heavy weights over your head, you can pull this muscle pretty easily. And mine actually, like, that joint popped out and was dislocated, and that's why I was having so much pain. But I had pain running down my arm. I wasn't really able to do a lot of my hobbies or activities that I like to do, and I just didn't feel that great. Yeah, more than likely I hurt myself doing that, because it's very common with that type of workout move that you can do that to your shoulder right here. So I am training, building up my strength, but I'm definitely going to be careful.
I thought it was really interesting talking to like the physical therapist. She said that a great number of her customers are those who have thru hiked, and said like the number was really high about like how messed up these people's bodies are after those hikes. I've read about that before, like lifelong issues. Not everybody can thru hike and they're fine. Those individuals are rare. They're the outliers. Most people come back and they have some serious problems.
Yeah, and we often get asked, you know, why aren't we thru hikers? Why don't we do that? And that's not really a lifestyle that I want to have. And I don't want that stress on my body. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to do lots of things, not just one big thing. And talking to the physical therapist, you know, we were talking about my daily life and like what I like to do and how I stay active. And she was like, yeah, I see people all the time that have hurt themselves so bad doing thru hikes. That strain and stress on your body. And we have to take care of ourselves, because we want to think long term, not short term.
Right.
And I told her, you know, thru hiking isn't for me. I want to be healthy so I can do like an epic hike and an epic adventure. And I want more than one of those. You know?
Right,
I
not
want
just
many.
one.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting to talk to her about for sure.
Mm-hmm. Like we have friends. Well, we have a friend who has hiked the AT, and afterwards, like I think for a good year, like they had a hard time like walking. Like it really, really messed them up. It was quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, there's all kinds of reasons. I mean, people, they don't have a lot of time to thru hike, so they might be going super fast, and it's really hard on their body. Anything to the extreme like that is hard on your body. So, if nothing else, take care of yourself, take care of your bodies, and that way you can do what you want to do.
Yeah. Now we eat.
Now, how's the hot dog?
It's fantastic.
Better than the bison one?
I mentioned in the past, I didn't think this bed was going to work for the both of us, but it does, and it works perfectly. It's incredibly comfortable.
I don't know how, but we make it work.
Somehow. Oh man, today's been a crazy day.
The weather made it really crazy and interesting.
Yeah.
I've had a great time though.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, again, like the weather called for like light rain this afternoon, storms tomorrow. So it's like we set up the tarp, we got the chairs out, like we got the fire practically going, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was on. So funny. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did break down the tarp and just put it up because it was so windy outside, but what a mess.
Very messy.
That's so funny. All right, folks, well, we're going to bed. Nice and tired. It's about 12 o'clock. We've actually just been talking and having a good time, and the time got away from us. But folks, we'll see you all in the morning.
Good night.
Good night, Susie.
Good night, babe.
Good night, folks. That heat is so nice, Susie.
Feels good.
So what we have here is just an electric heater, Duraflame, I think. It works incredibly well inside of this space. The thing is, like, it consumes so much power, it's crazy. With a 2,000 watt power station, it'll run for about an hour. As far as the weather goes, it has been raining all night long. It has not stopped. It's just pouring right now, and it's gonna pour for the rest of the day, it looks like.
And it's so dark. I wonder if it's like foggy outside. It just seems so dark.
Yeah, it's not really that late. It's about 7 o'clock. It's pitch black outside. It has to be just super, super foggy out there.
When we started waking up, I was like, what time is it? I mean, it has to be like 5 a.m. We woke up too early. Nope, it's about right on time, about 7.
Yeah. We'll be getting up here in just a minute and having coffee.
Coffee sounds good.
Here in a minute.
Yeah.
Is it raining hard enough, Susie?
A little bit, you know.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Cheers, Susie.
Cheers.
Cheers, friends. Good morning. I tell you what, I think Susie's the next top chef, the next Gordon Ramsay.
Whoa, whoa.
Does that make any sense?
I think you spoke too soon. You haven't tried those. Also, cooking pancakes on like a gas one stove was interesting, you know. It's all about finding like that right balance. If it's too high, it's gonna burn really quickly.
I like my pancakes with jelly. I'm not too much into syrup or anything like that. Mmm. So good.
It looks like there's going to be a break in the rain, so that will be a good time to pack up and get everything into the truck. It has poured all morning, like massive rain, and looking outside there's puddles. It's going to be very wet. Getting outside, getting everything put up, it's going to be muddy.
Super muddy. You all saw the heater running this morning and it really worked well. I like electric heat. The thing is, it consumes so much energy. For any sort of like real duration, we would have to run the generator. David and Patty sent us a Predator. What is it, a 3500?
I think so.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
If we get a good snowy cold day, that will be the perfect way to run our heat all day long. And it should make it really toasty in here.
I need to take a second here and do some shout outs. So, Bill, thank you so much for the coffee, the real Termite meals, the Cajun seasoning. My friend, we really appreciate it. Lisa, thank you so much for the MREs, the coffee, and the veggies. Susie loved the box.
That box was my favorite.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen a box like that, but that was so cool.
Vasette, thank you so much for the beef pasta peak refuel meal. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Luke, thank you so much for the Swedish clothing items, the challenge coin, and I'm glad that you like the music. Eat that, Tony. JD King, thank you so much for the card. I hope your holidays were fantastic. Greg, thank you so much for everything, buddy, including the backup camera. You are the man. Lastly, we have a shout out for Sean and his buddies. They saved a cow moose who had fallen through the ice in like this big pond or lake or something. Way to go, guys.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Love seeing those photos, and just way to go for being good, kind people.
Good work. Now, let's finish up breakfast. Wait a minute, you're done.
He talks too much.
She eats too fast.
You eat too much.
Slow? Oh, I eat too much. Well, whose fault is that? I didn't make this.
Typically on these trips, you don't even eat. So.
Okay.
You all know it. He does these trips and he wakes up and he's like, I'm not into breakfast. He's lying. He's into breakfast as long as you make it.
You embarrass me in front of my friends. Alright folks, the rain has stopped, at least for the next 30 minutes. There's another wave of storms coming in, so this is the perfect opportunity to get out of here.
Okay everyone, that's it for this episode. We're wrapping things up and we're about to head home. That was a wet and soggy trip, but the cabin was nice and cozy. I had a great time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing Luke and I stay in our cabin on Lone Wolf Mountain.
As Susie said, we hope you all have a great day. Hit the like button before you go. Be well, strength and honor. Susie, let's go home.